So 'tis the season of giving, but when it comes to Washington, Americans appear caught in another year that's more take than give. So as Christmas lovers descend on New York City this holiday season, we ask what gift they like to receive from Washington. Watch.
If I could get a holiday present from the government, I would ask for a new president.
I'd like to get rid of Joe Biden.
New leadership in the White House.
I think it would be a lifetime of not having to pay taxes.
A guinea pig.
A guinea pig? Okay, well, we will accept a guinea pig from the government happily.
If I had to choose a holiday present from the government, I think I would probably ask for more scholarship money for college students.
No taxes on retirement.
From the government. World peace.
If you could get a holiday present from the government, what would it be?
Oh, well, I live in Canada. Different government.
If you could get a holiday present from the Canadian government, what would it be?
Money!
Our student loans forgiven.
That would be great.
That would be wonderful, yes.
Please.
If you could get a holiday present from Washington, what would it be?
I'd say it'd be a cut in taxes on our paychecks so that we have more money in our paychecks to spend because COVID has left us pretty dry.
Joining me now, the panel is back. Tony Katz and Kevin Wall. Gentlemen, I missed y'all. I mean, we've been trying to catch a murderer, so thank y'all for being with us. But let's get into the holiday season. Tony, what did you think about what the folks had to say?
I always find it great when people are like, hey, give us money. Have they not figured out that it's their money? But when they want their own money back, they want cut taxes. I'm always in favor of that. But if you really want to know what you should want from your federal government this Christmas or holiday or Hanukkah, or whatever you want to call it, season, leave us alone already.
Yeah.
Stop telling us that things are great economically when they're not. Stop telling us to be afraid of COVID and that we have to wear masks. Let the military go back to damn work already and stop demanding vaccines that aren't going to help them stop from getting COVID or spreading COVID. Leave us alone. We'd all be better off.
So, Kevin, I'm assuming you may have a slightly different perspective on this, right?
Just a little bit. I'm with that little girl that wants a guinea pig from Joe Biden. I'm with her on that front. But listen, Tony makes some good points. I'm somewhat more libertarian than I think sometimes in my views in terms of getting government out of the way. I'll note that actually one of the big victories for this administration is this bipartisan marriage bill that's going to be signed on Tuesday. That's getting government out of the business of deciding who should be married. I think that's a good thing at the end of the year for a lot of families and a lot of folks watching this program. Something to celebrate heading into this holiday season for sure.
So, Tony, I got to ask you this. What would be something that you would want from the government? I know I want them out of the way, but if you have one thing to say, please just give me this as a Christmas present. I mean, for example, repeal those IRS agents. We know that's a problem for us. What would be the one thing for you?
I went through this, and what is it that I think that I would want from them? And I'm gonna stick with be left alone. But if the argument in front of us is we want something from them, then we're really, that's the fundamental problem. We're doing it wrong. Leave us to doing our lives. Stop encroaching on our lives. Stop thinking you know best. Stop thinking that by creating legislation, you're making our lives better when you're just creating more onerous lives for us. Leave us be. We'd be much happier. We're not really that into you to begin with.
So, Kevin, I got to ask you.
Tony wants a guinea pig too. Don't be fooling Tony. You want a guinea pig too.
Look, I assure you, I don't want one. Those things stink. My little sister had one of them, and they were terrible. It stunk up the whole house. So I'm not pro dog, anti guinea pig.
All guinea pigs are now out because Lawrence had a bad experience.
They're gone. They stink.
Exactly.
Kevin, I want to go to you because I'm just curious. When you look at Joe Biden and you look at his approval rating, when you look at the fact that the country said that we're on the wrong track, now that we have divided government, do you think some things are going to change in Washington? Do you think the president is going to be willing to work with the other side of the aisle? Because this is what he wanted to begin with, right? And then he got those 2 Georgia seats, and then he thought it was a mandate at that point. So do we see the moderate Joe Biden that he campaigned on now?
I think, Lawrence, you've seen that moderate Joe Biden throughout the last 2 years in terms of delivering bipartisan wins on infrastructure, on gun legislation, on the CHIPS bill, the China competitive bill. So I'm actually encouraged. I don't think it's the worst thing to have divided government in this country. It's a check on each other's houses and a check on the presidency. And I'm hopeful that we'll actually get some good legislation when it comes to immigration. We have the basis from the 2013 law that passed the Senate. Let's resurrect that in a Republican House, in a Democratic Senate. But I am hopeful that we'll see more of that in the future. You know my politics, Lawrence. I'm in the middle. I'm a Democrat, but I'm a moderate Democrat, and I'm hopeful that we'll see some more activity like we've seen over the last 2 years in terms of bipartisan bills making their way through.
Well, Kevin, I got to be honest with you,
getting
brother.
signed by the president.
You lost me there because it can't be the squad saying that he's going to be the most progressive president in American history and him be a moderate at the same time. And I think that's what has the country torn. He's kind of serving two masters right now. But hopefully we get a better year coming up. Gentlemen, after 3 weeks, thanks so much for joining me tonight.
Hey, and happy birthday, Lawrence. It's good to be back,
Thank
brother.
you, brother. I appreciate it.
Look at that.
Yeah, I'm getting old, Tony. You remember when I was a little kid?
That must be it. Look at you. My God.
You still look good to me, my man.
Thanks, brother.